for the video for my YouTube channel. You want to be in it?
Sure.
Hey guys, it's live.
Oh, wow.
So everyone's gonna be able to see this.
Oh, wait, but no, but he can't see me.
Who?
Jacob.
He's not watching. Oh, which one he's not watching?
But on Facebook, he goes on your Facebook, right?
This is YouTube.
Oh, well, does he know about your channel?
No. Okay. Hey guys.
Hi.
I wanted to bring my lovely and dear friend with me to make a small video for YouTube.
Yeah, we're so professional about this.
Tonight, well, she does not know what I want to talk about yet, but I was actually listening to her talk to me about abusive relationships, and I thought that would be
You're gonna roast me.
I know, I thought that would be a good topic to talk about and discuss. So I thought, let's just hop right into it, because I've been going through, I don't want to say like any names, and it's been very difficult for me, but I've been going through like a semi
abusive relationship.
So we're gonna bring
Go out and say it.
Yeah, we have to just hurry up and blurt it out. We're gonna bring our head. This video will actually, like, even though it's live, it'll stay on my channel if you want to rewatch it. So be mindful of what you say in case we want to rewatch it and we don't want to be embarrassed.
Okay. I mean, we haven't done anything embarrassing yet.
Yeah, hopefully we're not too embarrassing or too bad. But yeah, it's difficult, like, being in an abusive relationship, because the hardest part is like convincing yourself that there's nothing wrong with, or like the hardest part is convincing yourself that the person doesn't need your help, in my opinion. Because I feel like a good girlfriend will understand, like there might be tough points in the relationship. Like, the relationship is not gonna always be perfect. So I feel like you want to try to understand. The toughest part is trying to understand that there might, yeah, the toughest part is trying to understand that there might be like something wrong with the person, that you have to actually stay and like try to help the person figure out what is wrong with them. But she does not agree with me.
I think, okay, everybody has a level of crazy, just everybody. And I think you are right that, like, in every relationship, there are going to be good times and bad times. However, when it gets to the point where someone is beating you, that is beyond, like, what makes a relationship successful is whether or not the other person's problems are ones that you can deal with. Like, if their problems are so bad that you can't deal with it, like, or that you shouldn't have to deal with them, then there's a problem with that relationship. Like, it, and I don't know, I'm preaching here, but I really sympathize, because I know it's really hard to admit that maybe you can't help the person, even if you may care about them. Maybe the problem is not you, it's them. And even if, like, you acknowledge that and you want to help them, sometimes they don't want to be helped because they're so messed up that they don't want anybody's help. They just want to continue to be abusive.
Yeah, I think they're like, that's so true. That's a really good point. That like sometimes, because my point was that, like, sometimes you have to actually stay and you have to figure out what is wrong with the person and figure out like how to help the person. But
if they won't accept, like, help, or
some people don't want any help. Some people don't want, like, they want to continue being whoever they're being. So.
Exactly. They don't want to change. And if you can't change them, then like, I'm sorry, but like you can't, it is not your role to fix someone or to save them. That's not your job. Your job is to live the best life you can. And sometimes, unfortunately, that means leaving people who are abusive to you. But getting all dark here.
I hope no one minds my hairstyle. This is like a really odd hairstyle to be wearing, but it's like I got out that my hair is so short right now that I can't do this. Is completely off the topic of abusive relationships.
Yeah, lighten the mood here. Okay.
But yeah, this is completely off topic, but like my hair is like in these tiny little buns all over my head. Because my hair is like 3 inches long right now. It's so tiny. I was using this ruler to measure my hair for my friend. Completely off the topic of abusive relationships, but
well, I just hope you're happy because I think your hair looks amazing, but you're always dissatisfied with it. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I will be more happy with my hair when it grows out a little bit longer. And like it's like down to my. I love my hair when it's this length. Like I can't get over it. So that's like the length of like I love that. I love like the bob.
Are you gonna be like bob? You gonna bob it?
Yeah,
we can be bob buddies.
Yeah, well, as long as you keep my hair will have to be that length for like another year. It will have to have some time to grow out.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, with 3 inches of hair, I was able to put it in a little bun. So. That was difficult, but it was worth it. It's actually a little bit cold in here, so my speech is kind of delayed. My thought process is all going towards my body temperature. So yeah, basically what we covered so far is just basically like figuring out, does that person really want to change? Or is it even worth putting the time into fixing that person if they don't want to change? With my own experiences, I feel like the person definitely wants to change. I don't think the person is like I don't think the person is like a manipulative person. I don't think the person is like I think the person generally has a couple screws loose and like calls off and hits someone. And I want to be able to be that person that can like I understand that I'm not one of the type of people that is like being forced to stay. It's not that I'm being forced to stay. It's not that I'm scared to leave. It's not that it's not your typical like situation that you hear about is my main point. Like I'm like so basically what right now is what we're deciding is like is it worth trying to change the person? Like does that person want to change? Is it worth it? I think the person I'm dealing with has a couple screws loose, and like I want to be that person that can like help him out a little bit and like bring him back to a healthy equilibrium in his mind. Because I think when you hit somebody, it means like the equilibrium in your like if you hit somebody at all, if you're abusive, I think you probably there's the equilibrium in your mind is kind of like it's not at a good point.
Yeah. And I agree with you that, maybe some people can change, but like, unfortunately, like sometimes the people that are closest to us are not the best people to help us change because they're too involved in our lives.
Yeah.
And like, if, because there's all these memories and experiences that we have with that person that color our judgment towards them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes the best, like if you really want to help someone, the best way to do it is to have someone who has no association with them previously help them.
That's why, like, I think in my current situation, like the best thing to do might be to like go get counseling with the person so that like she was saying you have an somebody who's unbiased to the situation, unbiased to the person, unbiased to the story. They can come in and like like help out.
Yeah, but also keeping in mind, okay, that we are talking about an abusive relationship, and like as much as like you may want to help, um, most of the change is going to have to be from his side, like most of it. And if he's not willing to do that, then there you have your answer. It's like I'm the last person to write anyone off because of their experiences, but abuse is one of those things that is incredibly hard to change. Like, even if people want to change it about themselves, it's incredibly hard. And it's very easy for them to fall back into bad habits. And so it's one of those things that, like, I'm obviously not an expert, but I think that, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. You shouldn't feel responsible for that person because, yes, other people affect us, but ultimately we are the ones that make decisions for ourselves. Like,
I googled right here. I googled how to translate this into German because I put in my videos. I put some of my videos. I put like a German title and a German description.
Yeah.
This one I put.
So you get a lot of German views, I bet.
Yeah. I think most of my views come from Germany.
Well, there you go. Right. Yeah. So, but getting back to what I was saying is that, like, each one of us is responsible to some extent for our own actions. And, like, in the relationship, we can encourage people, we can help people, but we cannot change their character. We cannot fundamentally change them. The only way that they will change their character is if they put in the effort, they make the decision to change themselves. So, yeah. So, like, it's just a case by case basis. And, we all, and it's very hard because, these may be people that you love, these may be people that you have a good relationship with or that you had a good relationship with, and it's very hard to walk away from that because you have all these good memories mixed in with bad memories. But you have to understand that this is not a normal situation. Like, this is not a typical relationship, and it shouldn't have to be. This shouldn't have to be your reality if you are being abused.
So, like, what you're trying to say is, like, people are responsible for their own actions, so, like, they might not need help, or, like, do they still need help if they're responsible for their own actions?
They do need help, but as the other person in the relationship, you can't always be the one to help them because, like I said, sometimes you're too close to the situation, but also, like, they have to want to help themselves. Like you can, like, take me, like, you suggest something to me, right? And, like, I can choose to listen to it, or I can choose to ignore it, or I can choose to get angry. There's like a whole host of things that I choose to do. So, like, you can help someone who is, like, you can try, I guess is what I'm saying. You can try to help someone, but ultimately, whether they get help or not, whether they get better or not, is up to them. And if, again, kind of what we said before, if they don't want to change, if they don't want help, then that's, you can't, they're not going to change no matter what you do. Like, you have to learn to accept that.
Yeah, so, like, she was just saying, like, you can either change, you can get upset, or what was the other one?
You can choose to listen.
Or you can choose to listen. No, I said that one already. I said you can.
I don't know.
You can choose to listen, you can get upset, or I forget her other, or I guess you cannot choose to listen.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do now, I've been in this abusive relationship for 2 years. It got scary during like it got scary in the very beginning stages. I remember one night, like I was trying. Basically, what happened is like I was living at this place, and I could not afford to live there anymore. And the guy was not contributing to helping like with any of the bills. Granted, like we discussed this already, so I don't feel too bad for putting it out there. But um, like he would buy groceries and stuff like that, so it was okay. But mm, um, he would not contribute towards the bills. So what I was trying to do was eventually like get him to leave, but he would not leave at all. So I was like locking the doors, and he eventually stole my keys. So one night we got in arguments like you need to either be paying bills or you need to leave. And like I remember the lights being all off, and like this was like mm, maybe four 4 months, 3 or 4 months into our relationship. And
Mhm.
he like would not leave. He would not give me my key back. He would not help out with rent because the ultimatum was either you can help out or you have to leave. So he wouldn't help out. He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't give me the keys back. None of that. So one night I got home. He was like maybe 30 minutes from home. He ended up coming back over, and I was still telling him this: if you have to leave or you have to do something, like you need to either help out or you have to leave or something like that. And he would not leave, and I like got even more frustrated. I was like, "You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to like keep trying to tell me you need to leave." I couldn't afford to even live at that place, let alone have somebody that was living with me that was like my apartment complex was really chill. But usually, if like you have somebody staying with you for like a year or something like that, you need to put them on the lease. My apartment complex was cool. They never like got upset with me for not having them on the lease, but like let alone I can't afford it and you're not even on the lease. Like you're not really supposed to be here. And so like I remember had the lights being off in my bedroom and he like got on top of me and was like screaming and yelling in my face and then he threw this like can of Coca-Cola or something like at my head. And like to me, like I was so fucking I was so fucking scared. Like I had no idea what to do. So I immediately got like what the fuck do you do? Like if you have like a 6'2" guy, you're like 5'6.5. He's like 150 pounds. You're like 120 pounds. Like what do you do? What is there to do? You don't want to like incite him and get him more upset. You just like try to chill out a little bit. So I like immediately calmed down, immediately stopped yelling at him. I understand like I was probably pushing a lot of buttons. So I think we got into this like another scuffle. Like even though I was more calm, like I was trying to grab my phone and he would not let me grab my phone. So like we got in another argument about the phone. I was grabbing my phone to call the police. So I eventually like grabbed my phone away from him and I like start ringing the police. And by that point he like leaves. We're like 18 minutes into the video. Thank you for staying tuned and watching this with me.
Yeah, this got intense really quick.
I don't know who's watching, so
Yeah.
this is something I've been struggling with in like talking about with my friends and like if you know who you are out there and you're watching, I hope you understand where I'm coming from because like this is something we've talked about for a while. But anyway, so the guy ends up leaving. Um and the police ends up coming to my place and I talked to the police about it. And like so that was one time. The most recent time, so that was like the first time it happened. Like the first time it happens to you, that should be a red flag immediately to you that the person is not stable in the mind. Um, and that should be when you try to start getting help. The first time it happens is the time when you need to start getting help. I never did that, and that's something I wish I would have done.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, like the second and third time it happens, the second time it happens, he like slapped me in the face. Um, and that was like very scary for me because by then it was already to the point where it's like if I want to tell any like if I want to tell my friends about this, if I want to tell like my family about this, it creates a certain stigma that you're now an abused woman, or that you're now like a woman who is not desirable in society because you have this problem following you. So it took me a while to even tell somebody about it because I didn't want to face any like backlash. I didn't want to.
You didn't want to feel pitied.
Yeah, I didn't want to feel pitied. I didn't want to feel weak. Like mainly, I didn't want to feel weak. But the very first time it happens is the time you should tell somebody. So this has been going on now for I've been in this relationship since September of 2016. It is now December of 2018, so about 2 years and some months. Um, the most recent time is the time that's like got my friend involved because I did not want to tell anybody. I did not want to be weak. I did not want to like I don't know. It's weird, but um, yeah, the most recent time is to like we were at this. Okay, so my significant other claimed that I had gone missing, and like got a lot of people involved with looking for me, including my friend. Um, but the weirdest thing is like when he found me, we got like this nice hotel room to like reunite with each other. He the next morning he was like beating the crap out of me. I woke up out of bed and like beating the crap out of me. I'm like, what the heck? And like I'm a very strong person, so every time this has been happening, I've been like, I will calm down immediately and like reevaluate the situation because I don't want to like die. But like, this past time, like it was so bad, I was like, I have to defend myself. So I started hitting him too. And like the only reason I hit him back is because to defend myself and to make sure like he eventually stopped because he just kept going and going and going. And I was like, well, at least if I like try to retaliate, it's like at a bar fight. Like if two men start getting into a fight, it usually doesn't end until somebody wins. So like I actually like I didn't know what else to do, so I was like, okay, I hit him back. Eventually the fight ended, um, and like it was better. But I ended up like telling my friend recently, and she is like so disapproving of the relationship now. She wants me to put out a restraining order. She she just like is trying to make sure I'm safe. So we were actually just having this entire conversation, and then I was like, you know what? Let's turn on the camera and really like get this out because it was hard for me to like process it without seeing my life clearly. But that's basically what we're talking about tonight. That's what got us started on doing the video. So like she was saying, it's hard to get people to change if they don't want to change. Usually they can either listen to your advice, not listen to your advice, or get upset. Um, I was thinking like it's good to stay and like try to help that person out because like I know in other cultures, if your husband is abusive, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't leave your husband. He provides shelter, food, safety, monetary compensation. You might have children. Like sometimes it's not an option to leave your husband. So like for me, that's what I was thinking. I'm like sometimes it's just not an option to leave. It's not an I'm not. I don't want to send the person to jail. I don't necessarily want to take out a restraining order and like send the person to jail because usually with a restraining order, it does not come into effect unless they do something again and then they have to go to jail.
Well, I mean, honestly, you're just going by what one person said. Okay. Now, again, I'm not an expert in this and I don't know. That's why I want to talk to my police friend because he can tell me more information about it. Okay. And like what the options are. Um, but uh, what I'm saying is that, like, we're not in other countries. Like, you have the right to press charges. And the fact that you are afraid to meet this person is a significant statement. Like you should never be afraid to see like your significant other. And And like, it doesn't have to be permanent. Like, you can withdraw a restraining order. However, like at this point, and I know you're very stubborn about this. We're both very stubborn.
Oh my God, guys.
But it's just it like no, nobody should have to be afraid of their significant other. And if you are, then like, because the thing was, what she neglected to mention to you was that she actually got arrested when she defended herself. So she got in trouble and he didn't. So the fact that she does not have the law on her side right now because she hasn't filed an official complaint. Okay, she hasn't filed a restraining order, which means that the law is not on her side. So if this happens again and she doesn't have a lot of people to look out for her, to protect her, like in her, so, this could very well happen again. And she could get in even more trouble, or maybe she could get injured. This is something that we have to think about. And it's very hard for her, I know, because she obviously has invested a lot of time with this person. But, you know, it's just, it's not going to be easy, but I'm her friend, so I'll just try to be there for her as much as I can. And um I do, and I know this is probably the white part of me talking, but I believe in justice, and I think if you have the right people on your side, then you can get justice. And I will use all the influence I can to make sure that she is judged fairly for this. And it just, we can't, people have a really hard time admitting that things are wrong in their lives. But there comes a point where it just becomes too much for one person to handle. And nobody should have to handle what she has handled on her own. Nobody. Especially if it will most likely happen again. So, you know, um, I, I won't for a second say that it's not going to be a struggle, because it absolutely will. And it's going to be hard and it's going to hurt. And there's probably going to be complications that we don't even know about. But, if doing the right thing were easy, then everyone would do it. We can't, our lives are what we make of them. And right now, this is a toxic relationship. So, and she's an amazing person. And I just want her to be safe. And I want her to have the future she deserves. And this person, in my opinion, does not deserve her. So, hey, Manny, did you want to say anything more? Okay. Um, sorry for that monologue, but Manny's coming back, so.
Hey guys, I was like fixing my hair a little bit. Wow. Now we know who our one viewer is. But mainly,
wow.
My point of view is basically like saying like,
no, you don't. Shut the fuck up.
Remember, I said this is gonna be this is gonna be live on my YouTube channel. So
Oh,
like,
oops.
when we go back and watch this, we don't want to like,
yeah, regret stuff.
what we said. Yeah. So basically,
Well, I don't, but
the abuser is coming in now and saying that
he deserves her.
we have the abuser here in the room, and he says that I domestically abused him and that he deserves me. Let's see if he has anything else to say. He
Oh,
said
really?
she beat me up and I didn't touch her. So he's getting upset. I don't really want to talk too much about that because that's like my personal life, and like,
Yeah.
like I have like, I don't want this showing up in the comments, and like, so all that is something, but this is not so much to be about me. It's to be about like anyone going through an abusive relationship. So yeah, we were just talking and we said like the person can basically either choose to listen, they can choose to get upset, they can choose not to listen. People are in control of helping themselves. That's like what my friend was saying. What I was trying to say too is that like sometimes you have to stay and help the person, but she was saying more so that like people are in control of changing themselves. And that's one thing that I'm very big on, because like you can try and try so much with the person, and like if they don't want to help themselves, like what's the point? Like,
yeah. And after a certain point, you have to say, is my life more important than like this relationship? That's what you have to say. Is my life more important than this relationship?
yeah. But yeah, just coming from somebody who has gone through domestic abuse, um, just to come from the person who's like been in an abusive relationship, I think it's 100% right to defend yourself if somebody's attacking you or your belongings and you have to physically defend yourself, which is what I've had to do with this person. Then I think like if you have to protect yourself, I think that's 100% valid. If you live in a country where your husband can beat you and it's not um and you can't protect yourself, I just want to say that my heart goes out to you, because not everyone can protect themselves. Like my friend was telling you, I actually got arrested because of this domestic abuse, for defending myself. If you don't live in a country that looks at women as like free agents, I guess, is like,
Yeah.
as their own free agent, if you live in like the Middle East, don't behave like I've been behaving, because it's not gonna work. If I wanted to make a video on you, um, if I wanted to make if I wanted to make a video about like people in the Middle East, um,
Well, first of all, I think there are many variations of countries in the Middle East, so we shouldn't generalize.
well, basically
But
Muslim women Muslim women that live in like, I guess, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iraq, the Middle East, like that. Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iraq, places like that, and you're a Muslim woman and you are not looked at as a free agent, and you're looked at more of like supposed to be submissive to your husband. My heart goes out to you, because if you're in this position, there basically be no way for you to defend yourself. You can't tell the police. Um, you can't tell the police that's like, um, you were trying to defend yourself, because they're going to tell you that like you have to listen to your husband. So if I were in that country, I would be making a completely different video right now.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, again, all of this is purely anecdotal, and like it's a case by case basis, so don't like hate us for like, you know, talking about things that are happening in this situation if your situation may be different. But um, we just wanted to, well, it's mostly Faith who wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, because abusive relationships hurt both people involved. I think it's something that's like you'll go through with your partner. Maybe you'll go through with your partner at some point, and it's like it's not fair to either person involved. Both people get hurt. So my thing is like you have to know if the person is willing to change.
Yeah, and if they're not, if their only response is anger, then I mean, what can you do?
What can you do? It's kind of like what can you do sometimes?
Yeah, but anyway,
I think
we've been going for 35 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're ready to like wind down for the evening. It's like, should I tell what time it is, or is that too much information?
You don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like, well, I just want to say it's late at night.
Yeah.
So we were.
So this is kind of really like night thoughts kind of a video, like yeah. Self-reflection gets weird late at night. We all know that.
I have to save them anyway.
Oh yeah, we're listening to amazing music.
I love we love Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Is this the songs about Jane?
I don't know. I don't know all the songs.
Walk away. Anyway, I can watch myself talk all night, guys. I'm terrible, but peace, love, blessings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all we really wanted to say. So we're pretty much gonna go to bed and like wind down for the evening.
Mm-hmm. All right. Night, everybody.
Bye. Are you gonna end it?